Welcome, welcome. Give people a few seconds to log in. For the people that's already here, thank you for getting here early. We appreciate it. Here early. We appreciate it. All right. Welcome to Injustice Investigations, and I'm your host, Mr. O'Neill. I'll be hosting the show today, and Uncle be co-hosting.
I'm cool with it.
Hello, Miss Sandra Watts. How you doing? Queen Keish, welcome. Alicia Cook, thank you for joining us. So, Uncle, what you been up to today? I know
You
you've
know
been
what?
hard at work.
Yeah, I have, but I also tried to sneak in some rest time, bro.
That's
But
always good.
it didn't go as planned because the phone kept ringing till I decided to turn the ring off.
Well, that's usually how it happened with the hardest working man in show business.
Let them know that, please.
Yes, indeed. I know how hard you work over there,
I
and I
appreciate
salute
it.
you. I appreciate it. But yes, indeed. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Miss Winfrey. Love you big time.
So, you want to talk about the Pied Piper?
Can I get a drink of my tea first?
Get a drink of your tea. Get a drink of your tea, because I know this is gonna be kind of rough.
Mm-hmm.
And for the people watching right now, I want to say this: like, we are human. We are human. We are adult black men, but we are human. Like, we learn every day. We try to learn something new every day. So as we study this information and as we research information to bring you this show, we learn new stuff. And in the process of learning new stuff, we become better. The stuff that we learn may be valuable enough to change our opinion on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be the first to come out and say, hey, I learned something new and share that with you. If ever a point where we've we feel like we've misinformed, or if we took a certain stance on an issue, like I took a stand on the R. Kelly issue. I took a stand that I believe personally that he's guilty. Now, if for some reason I was to get information to change that, I would be okay with saying that I'm wrong. I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? I formed an opinion and that opinion was wrong. And I would be okay with apologizing for that opinion. And giving him his props, saying, hey, he was innocent. I thought he was, like, we have no problem with that. That's what separates us from a lot of other people. We don't do this for the likes, we don't do this for the views, we don't do this for the attention. We do this to educate and inform. When we discussed this show long before we brought it to YouTube, when I discussed it with my uncle, the main thing we discussed was, as black people, we don't have avenues that give us the real news and give us the real information that we need. We are stuck with these
Exactly.
white owned and white operated, outlets, or we dealing with people who take donations and take money from other outlets who steer them on what they can say and what they can speak on and everything like that. And we are not cool with that. YouTube and other, social media apps open up an avenue for us to share a message with our people, and we take that seriously. We take that seriously.
Exactly. Um, I'm gonna address a couple of things, Kelly here, and then I'm gonna give it to my nephew. It's his night. Uh, those of you who've been with me from day, gonna be my last time addressing this, not addressing the R. Kelly issue. We're gonna continue to address that and bring you up to date on his case, but this is gonna be my last time addressing uh, stupidity, incorrect information, immature in your mind. I don't mind you quoting me, but if you're going to quote me, quote what I said. Don't give the people your version of what I said. Say exactly what I said. When we first started covering the R. Kelly case, not one time did I say R. Kelly was innocent. What I did say is that I felt bad for him. And I do believe a lot of women were lying on some of the things they said he was doing. Do I still believe that? Absolutely, without a doubt. I still believe that. But not one time did I campaign a shadow of a doubt R. Kelly was guilty. So for the idiots who continue to come and post on the page that Mr. Scott flipped. Mr. Scott didn't flip, but let me tell you something. Me and my nephew just got through talking about it. Uh, if I change my views, and he just said it so lovely there, it's my prerogative. And so if I change my views, and you knowing me, then common sense would tell you evidently Mr. Scott saw something that he don't want to talk about now, or whatever it was, to change his mind about R. Kelly. My views about R. Kelly hasn't changed. R. Kelly's guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt. Do I think they're still railroading him in a sense? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. They have the evidence there, but they want to make sure he stays in there. Now, and with that being said, again, that's my last time addressing that. You can tell the story the way you want to tell it, but we're not going to keep addressing that here. When you come on this channel and you put up stupid shit about me or R. Kelly, whatever, here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to entertain it. I'm just going to block you. That's what we're gonna do. You have to be super stupid to come on somebody's show where you think they lying, or you know they lying, or you don't like them. That's super stupid. But every time your traffic comes here, we get paid. So keep coming, jackasses. Now let's get to what's going on with R. Kelly. Uh, I just shared something with Cynthia 3 minutes ago, and when I read it, I laughed, and I told it to her, and told her she fell out laughing as well. Here's what a witness said pertaining to R. Kelly. R. Kelly trapped women in a twilight zone. I mean, that's a powerful statement. I mean, you think about the Twilight Zone and what they said. I'm like, wow. And he did.
He
He
did.
did. R. Kelly finally admitted that he did have a sexual relationship with Aaliyah. Hopefully, some of you now know that they were married. Uh, which when the marriage was known, I know I thought you would have figured that out then that they had to be because you can't do that unless somebody was once married. Duh, simple as that. Uh, R. Kelly allegedly uh, told her to have an abortion. That was one of the reasons he married her, so he could be the guardian over her. Is what he says. Is that they started having sex when he was 27 years old and she was 15 years old. So he went ahead and bribed the people to get the marriage license so that she can get an abortion with legal consent. R. Kelly is a monster in human form. It's just, I know people do all kind of freaky shit, Toby, and that's fine. Whatever turns you on, but sometimes I believe things can go a little too far. And when we talk about the women giving consent, a lot of them did, but they didn't give consent to all of this extra curriculum shit that he was doing. But they felt, as the dudes just said, they was trapped. And to please R. Kelly, they probably went along with it. If we would get out of our feelings, we can see uh, what's really going on with R. Kelly. He allegedly gave several people herpes. He gave them to a young man. That same young man, he had him to have sex with his girlfriend while he sat there and watched. I mean, the handwriting is on the wall. We can't make this shit up. So, I mean, I know y'all love him, and he's wonderful at what he does. He's a genius in that field, Toby. But emotions and facts, they don't go together. They don't go
Not at
together.
all. Not at all. Just
It
like
doesn't.
we said, when your emotions move you, you can't be trusted. Because emotions are too wishy-washy. We say that in everyday life, and just like we've been talking about, people are moved by their emotions. You have to be really, because, like you said, we don't know him personally. We don't, like they
Mhm.
say, we don't know Robert Sylvester Kelly. We know R. Kelly to an extent,
Come
and
on.
just like I said, that is an actor. That is a character. You know what I'm saying? And like, people fail for the character, they fail for the actor, and they got their feelings involved. And just like I said, regardless of what, you know what I'm saying? Like, either you face the facts or you don't. It don't really matter to me. Our goal is to bring the facts
Hmm.
or to voice, the opinions. because like we said before,
Exactly.
everybody had an opinion. Everybody had formed an opinion. So as adults, it's okay for us to discuss it and have different opinions and to discuss it and because just like I said, just like with the ladies on the show last night, discussion helps people. Discussions about those topics, if done right, will help people. They will help people to overcome those type of situations, help people avoid those type of situations. And that's the whole goal. It's not to destroy R. Kelly. My
Exactly.
real goal of even focusing on R. Kelly case was to show all of the other people that played a role in the illegal activities that he was doing, and then how the system protected those people in order to get him. That was my whole goal with covering this story, because
Exactly.
it's like I've always said, it's bigger than R. Kelly, and we have to
That's it.
start recognizing that there was a lot of more people involved, and
Hmm.
that's really what the focus was. Like I said, there's no doubt in my mind that he was guilty, so that wasn't even a question. I'm open to hear people's views, but like I said, you can't argue with the facts. If you can bring me more facts to dispute my facts or open my eyes to some more facts, I'm all for that. But your opinion
Exactly.
is just like mine. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Not to me.
That's it. And
So
I want to say one more thing about you before you get to your Miss Renfrey. Thank you so much. I love you big time. Thank you. Last night's show, it was a very sensitive show. Uh, it dealt with some very volatile, hurtful things in people's lives, things that cannot be changed, cannot be undone. And unfortunately, a lot of things that was done, for some people, they will have lasting effects from that, and it may destroy their lives. They may not be able to get into a serious, intimate relationship because of what was done to them in the past. But I want to applaud my nephew because I enjoyed the way he handled that show last night, especially the compassion that you showed to the guests, especially the mother. And I mean, I thought you handled it well, and you gave them their due props. I know a lot of people thought that you, me, or both was going to beat up on them and stuff, but that wasn't the goal. But you did an excellent job with that on last night, so I appreciate you for doing
I
that.
thank you.
I'm done.
I thank you. But just like we was talking about before that show, the goal of that show wasn't to promote the pedophile. He already had his time to shine. And it wasn't to, batter anybody, because regardless of how we feel, those people went through some stuff. Those people,
Hmm.
and that was mind altering stuff. So it's I my main, like I told you before, my main goal was to make them as comfortable as possible, because the information that they gave, I know it was helpful to somebody. You remember
Exactly.
we talked about it. That was the whole thing, not to bash or not to point fingers or not to, promote, what happened, or not promote the person that did it, but to try to utilize the situation to help it keep it from happening again. And
Exactly.
and and like I believe that overall, I believe we accomplished that. And like that to me, the whole show was amazing, because like I said, if they really opened up, you know what I'm saying? And like I told you earlier, I was kind of skeptical, because we are two males, and
Hmm.
those women were misled and deceived and by males. So I was hesitant going in, thinking like, okay, I know they're going to be hesitant or whatever. So I had that in mind going into the interview, that I didn't want to come off as like a dominant person or like I'm controlling them. Basically I just wanted to steer the conversation and
Exactly.
let them open up and express themselves.
And they did. They did. Miss Watts says, "Excellent job, Toby."
Thank you, Miss Watson. I try. I'm learning from the best though, y'all. I'm learning from the best.
Let him use you. Let him use you.
Yeah, I'm learning from the best. Yes, sir. But I appreciate that, Uncle. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to interview him, because
Oh, you're welcome, brother.
like I know, that was my first time. So I appreciate you trusting me.
Exactly.
Well, look, I want to talk to the Shreveport residents. I want to talk to the Shreveport residents. My uncle gave me the opportunity to host today's show. So me and him have been talking behind the scenes about this mythical plan that I have for Shreveport, and I wanted to share some of it with y'all today. Since he gave me the opportunity to talk and speak my mind, I wanted to share some of that with y'all today. And I'll say this: I'm speaking to Shreveport, but I'm also speaking to every Black community, period, who are suffering, the effects of this system and the state that we in as a people right now. It's not for anybody in particular. I feel like it could help any community. It's about how it's implemented and utilized. So bear with me, and I'm gonna try to give you something. First of all, I want to say this: change. It starts with us as individuals. It starts with us as individuals. We have to want to be better people. We have to want to have happy, productive children. We have to want to live and work in beautiful, safe neighborhoods and communities. We have to want it. We have to want it because we have to have a deep drive to have it. Because if we don't have a deep drive to push us towards achieving those goals, we can't hope to accomplish it. Because the one thing we know about the city of Shreveport is we didn't get like this overnight. The people didn't get like this overnight. The people didn't get to the point where they don't care about each other. They have no regard for life. That we didn't get like this overnight. I remember a happy, loving, family-oriented Shreveport. I remember. The city haven't always been like this. The city hasn't always been ran down. The city hasn't always been mismanaged and basically running the ground. It didn't happen overnight. And it's not going to be an overnight fix. Exactly. It's going to take a time to fix it, and it's going to take effort. But the key thing is it has to start right now. We can't wait till tomorrow. We already behind. It has to start right now. And we have to be open to change. Mm-hmm. Because I'm quite sure if we did a poll, the majority of us would agree that the things the things that's happening now, the plans that's going on now, the way things are going now, we're not getting no better. We're getting worse. So we have to be open to change, first of all, before we can even hope to, carry this endeavor. We have to be open to change. We have to recognize that the past plans haven't worked. And honestly, the people who making the plans now, we don't even trust them. We can't trust them. So we can't depend on their plans, them, because we can't trust them. We have to come together and formalize new, more effective plans based on our needs, our current situation, and what we want to build for ourselves. I'm going to say that again. We have to formalize plans based on our needs, our current circumstances, and what we want to accomplish for ourselves. All of that is us. That's nobody else. I didn't mention anybody else helping us or none of that. We have to do it for ourselves. Any help would be appreciated, but can we really depend on it? I think not. So I want to go to point one. The first thing we have to do as a community, Shreveport, is we have to unify. We have to unify. People can say what they want, but we are divided. Forever, we've been divided by colors. Mentally, we've been divided by light skin and dark skin, and who has and who has not, and what church you go to, and what religion you represent. Like, we've been divided forever. But no matter what religion you are, no matter what color you bang, no matter what church you go, no matter what that separates you, we all in this shit together. That's it. We all suffering in this slum hole together. And if we ever hope to come up out of this slum hole, we're going to have to unite. There's no other way around it. And when I say unite, I don't mean everybody. Everybody can't come along for the ride because we have to be realistic. And I'm gonna say something here that might hurt a few people's feelings, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The majority of us are followers. The majority of us are accustomed to following what's popular or what's trending or what everybody else doing. You know, we quick to jump on the bandwagon. So I don't need the bandwagon riders. Those are not the people that have to come together and unify. I'm looking forward to the people who don't have a problem standing out, who don't have a problem raising their voice when something is wrong, who don't have a problem rolling up their sleeves and getting in the trenches and doing something about shit when shit not right. Those are the people that we need. And honestly, when we come together and start thinking as one and moving as one, we can set the new trends for everybody else to follow.
Exactly.
See, what I want us to do, I want us to unite and I want us to set the standards for Black Shreveport going forward. I want that select group of people who unite. I want us to set the standards for what Black Shreveport represents. And when we set the standards and we push it, we'll make everybody else follow the trends we set for them.
I like that. I like that.
Yes, because just like I said, we have to show them how to be strong Black people. It take a select few. It take a select group of people to come together and work and start acting and carrying ourselves as strong, independent Black people, and we'll set the trend. We'll set the trend and give everybody else something to follow. So first of all, like I said, we need to unify. What you think about that?
I think that's number one on your list, and that's exactly where it should be. If we are divided, then a lot of things that we're trying to accomplish will not get accomplished because we're separated in thought. And in Shreveport, we have a lot of Black leaders.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of powerful Black leaders,
Mm-hmm.
but we also have some Black leaders that shouldn't be in a leadership position
Most definitely. Most
because
definitely.
they're leading our people down a one way street to a dead end.
Exactly. And like I said, I'm gonna touch on that too. I got to touch on the politics because that's key. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna touch on the next point. And this here, like when the wrong people hear this, I'm gonna get in trouble. But I don't care. The next thing we need to do is we need to establish a defense coalition whose responsibility is to serve and protect our people
Mm-hmm.
because we aren't being properly served and protected by the people who are in power right now. So we need to create our own coalition to serve and protect Black people because we never know. And like as of right now, we watching the news and we watching all these racist organizations pop their head up and show force and they showing weapons and they showing everything. They showing that they trained, powerful, and that they ready to go to war for Trump and anybody else, any racist purpose, that somebody spews or anything, they're ready. And honestly, we're not even ready to defend ourselves. If they decided to just exterminate us right now, half of us, couldn't organize to defend ourselves, aren't trained or aren't, but they have militias. They have homegrown militias. They have homegrown organizations who train regularly to protect themselves and to protect their country.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember, this is not our country. So when they talk about protecting their country, I'm quite sure they mean protecting it against us too, because they don't feel like this is our country. But if we're going to stay in this country and we're going to maintain and we're going to build our own place in this country, we need people like us, who look like us, who come from where we come from, who are in charge of serving and protecting us.
Exactly.
Let me know, huh? What you think? What you think? I'm out of bounds.
No, 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 nephew. You know your stuff. You know your stuff, and I'm with you. 100%. You know, and listening to you bring up number two, one of the biggest problems for us as far as uniting is concerned is that before we can get there, you, I, and others that have a genuine concern for not just Shreveport but this country, we have to get those that have been lied to, and we got to reprogram them
Exactly.
so that
Exactly.
they're living a lie. We got to uproot the lies. When if you're a child and you're with your mom and her and the dad may no longer be together, one of the things that will shape that child into adulthood is everything that the child is being told when the child is a child. You just like your dad, you know good. You're gonna be running in and out of jail just like him. You're gonna be nothing. Then the child looks at the mother and says, "Well, mama, didn't you lay down with him to have me?"
You're right. And that brings me to the next point. The next point is improvements in schools and educations. And I'm gonna tell you this: an improvement in schools and educations, before we improve, we have to recognize that the current school system is bullshit. They're teaching our kids a lot of bullshit that's not going to help them, you know what I'm saying, in life. So we have to, just like I said, we have to reteach. You know what I'm saying? We have to do extra. We know they getting the basics at school, but we have to do extra. And then on a deeper level, like I said before, when it comes to education, most of us have been miseducated from day one.
Mm,
So in order to educate now, we have to re-educate. That's what, like I spoke before about the used computer. All of us now like use computer. We've been programmed with a lot of bullshit. We got a lot of viruses. We got a lot of programs that's outdated, and it's making us slow. It's making us lazy. It's keeping us from accomplishing our dreams and goals. It's keeping us from becoming our a better self, a better version of ourselves. So we have to re-educate. We have to, break ourselves down and rebuild ourselves to be more efficient, to be more happy, to be more focused, to be more positive. And
exactly.
it's all mental, but that's an aspect of educating ourselves. You know what I'm saying? They beating us down with the system. They beating us down with education. We have to start re-educating ourselves. We have to start re-educating our kids. We have to start showing our kids and educating our kids to the fact that they truly can become anything they set their minds to, because they're the future of the community. We have to start pushing doctors, pushing for lawyers, pushing, for people to go into medicine, because those our people going into those fields are what's going to help us. Their people going into those fields are not going to help us. So we have to, reformulate the whole education system. We have to start training our kids for positions that matter, for positions where they can actually get jobs, or they can actually come back to the community and do something positive in the community. So education goes a long way, and we have to combat the miseducation, like you were saying, like and like you said, from the earliest time we start getting educated in the house. A lot of people don't know we take on a lot of negativity just from our parents' genes. We take on negative traits and characteristics from the genes. So the earliest part of the life is crucial. And just like I said, a lot of people aren't even in home enough, you know what I'm saying, to educate those kids properly at an early age, because they have to go out and work and everything like that. So our education system is outdated. They're still teaching us stuff that's obsolete. They're still teaching us false truths. So
Exactly.
one of the keys to being a better us is revamping and re-educating ourselves.
You said earlier you were talking about black media,
Hmm.
uh, and when you, what you were speaking about just now, it got me to thinking about black media. If you watch your local news stations or mainstream media, for the most part, they're always going to show blacks that are in trouble, that are not doing a damn thing with their lives.
Hmm.
Well, we need more black stations, radio shows that shows the good that blacks are doing, especially in the ghetto, quote unquote. They need
And
to see
that's like, think about it. When we talked about the new platform, I didn't. He brought it out of us, y'all. We working on a new platform. You know what I'm saying? Our injustice investigations news is focused on injustice investigations and keeping you up to date and making you aware of what's going on. But we also need another outlet because there are so many other topics, so many other things that we have to discuss, so many community things, that doesn't fit under this heading or doesn't fit under this topic. So we're cultivating a new show, to bring you more, to give us an opportunity to step outside of the injustice and bring you, like he said, some positive people in the community, to get out in the community and actually do some work. And we're going to we're working on another platform, another channel that will bring you so much more. We want to bring you guys so much more. So be looking for that. Be looking for that. Okay, another thing, like we talked about, improvement in housing.
mm,
We talk about that because this is one of the raggediest cities, God knows. But like, this is our city. So if homes and housing need to be improved, affordable, housing that's stable to live in, then we're going to have to do it. We can't wait on anybody else to do it. We're going to have to do it.
exactly.
Improvement, whether it's calling out the slum lords who own homes in our communities and rent them out to us, knowing that they are basically unlivable. We have to start calling them out on that. We're going to get out in the community. I actually want people to start sending us information. If you're living in a home and the toilet is falling through the floor, or the back door won't lock, and some of the other stuff, you know what I'm saying, that's really make these houses not livable.
Exactly.
People are not supposed to be living in those houses. So God forbid, if you're living in something like that, call us out. We'll come out. We'll take pictures. We'll figure out who the landlord is, and we'll start calling them on it. And we're going to start calling on the city to start enforcing the residential building codes and getting these houses in the black community up to standards. And then on top of that, I also want to create a fund because, like I said, I'm a construction. I work in construction and remodeling. So I have a plan where I want to raise the money and raise the resources to where I want to go either through the city for them to, sell us the properties at a discount, or buy them outright and remodel them. And I want to start a home buyers program. With the homes that I purchase and remodel, I want to sell those to people in the communities because I believe that home ownership promotes more love and respect for your community and your neighborhood. Renting is okay, but a person that's invested, a person that's buying a home in a particular neighborhood, will take pride in that home and take pride in that neighborhood, and want to make that neighborhood a safe and better place. So that's
Exactly.
another problem, like another thing that I want to promote. I want to do something about the housing problem. I actually, when I first got here, I met a lady, a black lady who is working on her own, investing her own money into buying houses and investing her money into rehabbing those houses. And
Mm,
she's taking those houses and putting them through housing. So she's making a little money off her investment, and she's providing good affordable housing because I fixed some of the houses. And when the city inspector came out, he said that was the best looking house he had inspected. He didn't even have to do no work. And like, that is the goal for the community. And it's people out
you
here
know,
that's doing it. I know it's others. Hmm?
go ahead. Go ahead.
It's people out here that's doing that already. And I know it's resources available. And if, like I said, if we don't want to go through the city, let's pool our own resources together. We can pool our own
Exactly.
resources together. We can do fundraisers. We can put events together where you can come out and donate, or you can come out and take part in the events and everything, and help us build our own fund, because we have to do for ourselves. It's time we stop waiting on everybody else. So
Exactly. Uh, Since I was watching a show last night about crime,
mhm.
and it was about a black lady who's from the ghetto, grew up poor, extremely smart, was going through some tough times, and she decided the only way she could win was to get inside of where they're at to learn what they don't want us to know. And so she
Hmm.
went into the credit system
Uh-huh.
because uh, for blacks, most blacks, the credit score is going to be extremely low,
Hmm.
probably like five something, and an acceptable score I think is seven or higher. But so I think it would also be great if we would put together classes to get people to come in and to let blacks know how important two things are in life for them to make it: their credit score and their zip code.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
your
And
zip
see,
code. Go ahead.
but all of that, like I've said, all of that is a form of educating, because you think about it, like we don't have the skills. They never, what I'm saying, taught us the skills. I had to go, what I'm saying, I had to go get the skills. Once I realized I was short on skills, once I realized I was short on money management skills, once I realized I was short on business management skills, once I realized I was short on life skills, I made
Mm,
it my duty to, find those skills. And just like I said, we sitting here holding a computer in our hands. We hold a computer in our hands every day, and there's so much helpful information on the internet. It's self-help, whether it's taking an hour a day to look at a self-help video or look at a money management video. You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? To teach you how to budget your money. Like, it's constantly educating ourselves because we behind. They already ahead of us.
Exactly.
They got this early. They parents gave it to them, and everything. That's why they control the majority of the world's worth, the wealth. They control that because they parents passed it down to them for generation to generation, and they not letting it go. And if we don't establish nothing now, we'll never have nothing. We'll forever be working for somebody else. Our kids, our grandkids, our great grandkids will forever be employed. They would forever be begging for jobs, and I'm not with that. I'm not with that. I think we past time begging for any goddamn thing. We need to start creating our own.
Come on with it. Come on.
Yeah, we need to start creating our own.
Yeah.
And that leads me to the next point. Politics,
Mm-mm.
people, politics. They might have let you do a lot of things, but still to this day, they try to prevent us from voting because the vote count. We just don't know how to do it. We got to wake up to the fact that we have to learn to play the system because the system been playing us forever. The system been playing us, they done played us left, and we just jumping up and down, and we still, apart. We have to create a political coalition and start choosing, promoting, and electing our own political candidates. I'm gonna say it again. We have to create our own political coalition made up of us, and we have to start choosing, promoting, and electing our own public officials. Everybody else do it. Why we can't do it?
Amen.
Why we can't do it? And I'm gonna give you something. I'm not talking about the Democrats. I'm not talking about the Republicans. I'm not talking about nothing because they don't work for us.
Come on.
They not for us.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And the black people who jump on them bandwagons to get into politics, no. Once you jump on the side and you pick a Republican side or you pick a Democrat side, you can't be for the people no more. You for the party. That's understood like the bar. That you for the party. But if we start choosing our own candidates, promoting and electing our own candidates, I guarantee you we can change something. Did y'all know that there's a such thing called an independent party that's outside of the Democrats and the Republicans? Do y'all know that somebody runs on an independent ticket every year? Do you know what the beautiful thing about independent is? They not controlled by a party. They not controlled by a party. Kanye shocked the world when he ran for president, but a lot of y'all didn't catch that shit. Kanye opened y'all eyes to something because Kanye showed y'all how it's supposed to be done. Kanye put up his own money and ran independent of anybody. He wasn't controlled by nobody. Think about that. And he did it spur of the moment. He got on the ticket and everything. He got on the ticket for the presidential ticket. Think about that. A rapper, Brad Jordan did it. Mr. Scarface, the rapper, did it. He ran for office before. Made it to the runoff because he felt like I'm a black man from the community and I feel like I can do a better job than them damn politicians who barely even know what my community is all about. And I agree with that. I believe my uncle could do a better job at being a politician than a lot of the bullshit motherfuckers we got in office in Shreveport right now. And that's real because he's been to the bottom. He know what it is to be at the bottom. He's crawled to the top and been sucked back down. But we know the community. We know the hood. We know the people because we are them. So who else better to represent us than us?
That's it. That's it.
So we need to organize our political party. And we're not going to be Democrats. We're not going to be Republicans. We should take our own politician, nominate our own politician, put our plan in his hand so he can promote our plan. And goddamn it, if need be, we'll call it the Black Party. We'll come up with a whole new party. We'll sit down, we'll get our plan together, and we'll find us a politician to represent our party and push our goddamn plan. Why not? Why not? Y'all scared? Why not? Why we can't do it, huh? Why we can't do
it? I think you just hit it. When you're scared, there's no fight in you. And some of us, well, all of us are free from slavery, but a lot of our minds are still in captivity.
Exactly.
And so we don't think we can do this. We can't do that. We've been told that, and that's one of the lies that has to be uprooted.
Man, I'm gonna tell you one lie. Do your history. Do your history. We with one party now. If you go back a little way longer, we was with the other side. We wishy-washy because if you look at it, them political parties, they switch up their views and everything all the time to keep us bamboozled and to keep us thinking that they gonna do something for us. But the proof is in the pudding. They ain't did shit for us. But I guarantee you, in the next election in 4 years, if we, picked our own person, say Shreveport, if Shreveport picked their own our own, not a Republican, not a Democrat, I wouldn't give a damn if he was a retired school teacher.
Exactly.
Who came from the community, who dealt with kids in the community, who dealt with what goes on in the community, and now wants to be a part of, fixing the community. If we can find us a person like that, if we can put our voices and our resources behind that person in a local election in Shreveport, I guarantee you, if he didn't win, he would get so close, it would scare every motherfucking politician it is in Shreveport. Because they would realize, these niggas know something. Wait a minute. Who told them that? When did they figure that out? They didn't have to vote for a Democrat or a Republican. They could vote for somebody totally different. And since they are the dominant race in Shreveport, if they put the power behind it, they can elect anybody they want to elect to the Black Party.
Exactly. Goes back to what we were talking about earlier. When it comes to elections, and we're voting someone out of office, but it doesn't do us any good, Kobe, if the person that we're voting in is a product of the person that's going out. The name is different, the face is different, but the agenda is the same.
He represents one of the two powers in politics. So why, just like I said, if none of them are going to, either one of them are going to give us power, think about it, just like we talked about before with the politics. When they made it to where the slaves had to vote, all the white people did in the political parties would say, okay, now since they vote, let's get us a house nigga and put him up here in front of them, and they'll vote for him, and we'll control him. But soon as the house nigga get in there, he's a part of that good old boy network. Whether he's black or white or anything, He isn't independent. He's a part of a party. That party is bigger than him. That party picks the person that they believe is most capable of winning the office, so they can keep control. It's not about anything but that. But just like I said, that's because they made us think, or I don't know how, but they made us believe we only have two choices, either Democrat or Republican. Go look at the ballot. Every year, on every ticket, national and locally, somebody runs independent. They just don't have the shine because they don't have the power and the resources and the media control to push their agenda. But we have we have social media. We can come up with our own agenda and find us somebody to push our own agenda. Why we can't? Explain to me why we can't. Because just like I said, explain how Kanye got to run for president. Last minute, okay, I'm gonna run for president. Everybody else had been out. Everybody else had been campaigning. Everything. Everybody had their party behind them. Everything. He was still able to get on the ticket in 4 or 5 states and get votes. He was still able to do that. So and he ran independent. I'm not with a party. So think about that from this perspective. If you are in Congress and Congress is made up of half Republicans and half Democrats, when it's time to vote on something, everybody gonna vote with their party.
That's it.
But then if you bring a neutral person into the situation, he's not with this party, he's not with this party. He just has plans and an agenda. Then you have to look at the plans and the agenda and vote based on the plans and the agenda and not what team I'm with. That's a big difference. When you sit down and you say, okay, I'm representing my team, I have to, represent my team and vote for what's best for my team. It's not about the people. It's not about the people. And that's what we have to realize. Neither one of those parties is about the people, because the people are still in the same place they've been in all these years. And just like I said, they've been in power as far back as I can remember. They either a Democrat or a Republican has been in office since before we was even able to vote. Democrats and Republicans were around before we was even able to vote. So before we was even people, they had those political parties. Those parties don't represent us. If we're going to be our own people, why not create our own party? That way they can't stop us from coming and they can't tell us what to do when we get there.
That's it. That's the only way change will come for this city.
Exactly.
And I know people get pissed when I say this here, but it's a fact. We keep voting people in office. We spoke about it earlier, nephew, you and I, because of name recognition. And there's a certain clique that this person is in. And so, with us not really studying the candidates past, looking at their resume, we sometimes just vote for who we're told to vote for.
That's what we do.
This is going to be the best candidate. Every candidate is going to say proven leadership, but research and see if it's proven leadership.
But I'm gonna take you back. The one thing about it, you know what I'm saying, when we were fighting for the vote, do you realize when we were fighting for the vote, those people united and those people went directly to the politicians to discuss, hey, what are you going to do for us? They have lobbyists. White people have lobbyists that lobby politicians to go to them on behalf of a certain group of people to say, hey, we have this many votes. What are you going to do to gain our support? What are you going to do for us so we can vote for you? That's how they play the game. Why can't we play the game like they play the game? Why we have to keep voting for who they tell us to vote for? Exactly. We don't have a group of lobbyists to go and sit down with a politician. But I guarantee you, if a big enough portion of Shreveport got together, say 40%, if 40% of the vote got together and a man could step to these local politicians and say, I control 40% of the vote, I guarantee you they would roll out the red carpet and they, you know what I'm saying, will sit down and listen.
Without a doubt.
I guarantee you. But I know what's going to happen. When you get in, you're going to do the same shit you've been doing. So we're not dealing with you. We're not dealing, we already know where that's going to go. Why not try something different? What's going to hurt us? If we vote independent this time and an independent person get in office, if they, like, what is going to hurt? What is going to hurt? Just like I said, well, if people say, well, if we vote them in, all they going to do is change. Okay, they got 4 years. We'll vote they dumb ass out. And the next person to know, okay, these folks ain't playing.
Exactly.
We'll swap them out every 4 years if we have to.
Exactly.
We've been putting up with them forever and ain't nothing changed. I would rather us take a part in swapping their ass out every 4 years and seeing who gonna do something than just sitting by and continuing to vote on who they tell us to.
Exactly. That's it. That's just like when I don't think they should be allowed to do it uh, during elections. Republicans, Democrats, all of them will show up at your church, and you've never saw them walk in that door.
Exactly.
You know, as I said, they'll come and they'll kiss your snotty nose, baby, and take pictures. And then the first thing, especially the elders of the church, will say, "Well, if they're good enough for pastor, they're good enough for me."
Exactly. That's it. And just like I said, that's how we are moved. When the church shouldn't even be in politics like that. You know what I'm saying? The church should be in a better for a whole. The church should never pick a side unless it's the side of the community. The people should be telling the pastor who to vote for because the people support the pastor. That's what I'm saying. He should, that's the least of his worries is politics. But we know it's some donations changing hands. You know, those people donate to the church. That's why you allowed to come in here and mislead my congregation. Because with me, it's all about the money. And just like I said, we need to cease and desist that shit too. We need to cease and desist that shit too. If you a church and you in the black community and you're not out in the community doing anything or putting any of that funding into the community, then you need to take that shit somewhere else. You need to take it somewhere else. Oh, and that's real. Yes. And that's real because, okay, the next point I have, we should dominate business ownership in our hoods, in our communities. We should dominate. We should own businesses in our community. We should be the people that's owning and working in businesses in our community because real business people understand that there is a such thing as business ethics. And there are such thing as I have a duty to serve the community that I take money out of.
Exactly.
It's simple as that. It's simple as that. I don't knock the Iranians. I don't knock any of that because it's open capital. But I guarantee you, they're not spending no money in the black community because they don't live in the black community. They are taking money out of the black community and they are taking it to upgrade their community. That's what they're doing. And I don't knock them for that because we should be doing the same thing. We should be have our businesses in their community taking their money and bringing it back to our community. But we can't even control the businesses in our community.
And you know, you bringing up the Iranians. If you notice, they're saturating the black neighborhoods. But as you just said, they won't spend their money in the black neighborhood. They won't move their wives into a black neighborhood.
No.
But they'll bring their stores over there surrounded by a fence and barbed wire as if it is a prison. So blacks need to, become more business minded.
But we will risk getting cut by the barbed wire just to go spend our money with them.
Come on.
Every day.
Come on.
But we'll bypass the black store to go spend our money and walk through the store while they got 1,000 cameras in there. They watching us. You know what I'm saying? They following us up and down the aisle and we complain, but we coming back. We coming back. And just like I said, it's mainly because we don't have the businesses. And then the people that do have the businesses, you have no ethics. You have no business ethics. So another thing that we need to do, we need some business development courses for this. I want to start a fund that funds that type of stuff, funds education, business education, gives people startup capital to start businesses within the community that are going to employ people that live in the community. Like, I feel like this. I feel like as a people, we should be producing a percentage of the food we eat, a percentage of the clothes we wear, the shoes we wear, and any other, things that we need as a people. We don't produce anything. We don't produce anything. We pick the cotton, but we don't have a factory to weave the cotton into clothes and then sell the clothes. Like we on the butt end of everything. We are consumers and we not producers. We need to start thinking as a whole, as a community, on becoming producers. How can we produce food so we won't have to go spend all our money with other people to buy to feed ourselves? Let's invest in clothes so we don't have to go spend our money with those people, you know what I'm saying, and make them rich and make their communities better for the clothes we need. No,
Exactly.
we have to look at business and start forming businesses and generating businesses in our community, because those are the businesses that give back and help grow the community.
And
And those that are in the community, I'm not saying you can't be there, but if you are in the community, you would have to give to the community because you were taken away. It's only right. It's only
and
right.
that kind of reminds me of the casinos when they come with a plan to help the city from the money that they're making off of the people that come onto their boats. But I would love to see a lot of black stores start in black neighborhoods, ran by people that know what they're doing. When you speak about that,
That's the key, huh? That's the key, because I don't, like I say, I'm not gonna spend my money with you just because you black. That's
come
bullshit.
on,
Because
come on here.
because you might not have any business skills, you might not
What's
have any
up?
business sense, you might not have no ethics, and that's not going to do any good for the community. Me spending, you know what I'm saying, money with a person who doesn't have the proper business mind to know, okay, it's a responsibility that comes with having a business in this community. Like we need to hand pick the people. We can't just say, okay, you're gonna open a store and we'll support you because you're black. That's not happening. That's how we get bamboozled with the politicians and everything else. You know what I'm saying? It takes a certain knowledge, a certain level of understanding in business to know, okay, I'm in this community. This is my community. I want to help better this community. And just like I've said, I've seen white store owners do that. So I'm not gonna go with you because you're black. I know white store owners who come into the, you know what I'm saying, community, donate meat and everything for Juneteenth, and host events in the community, feed homeless, and these are white stores in black communities. So I'm not rocking with you just because you black. You have to be in the mind state of making my community better, because if you help your community become better, then they'll help you become bigger as a business.
Exactly, and that was a powerful point. I mean, very powerful. One thing that I hate to hear black people say, because it makes no earthly damn sense to me. Basically, what you just said. Uh, Support black owned business. Well, I think that's just fucking super stupid. I have to support a black business because I'm black. That makes no earthly damn sense.
No,
It doesn't.
no.
Doesn't make any earthly sense. We support people that are going to be beneficial to our neighborhood, and we too will benefit from them being there.
Exactly. I told you I'm having car trouble. I called a mechanic out to my house. The guy came out, diagnosed the problem, told me what part to get. You know what I'm saying? They said that'll get my truck running. You know what I'm saying? He got I paid for the part. He came and put it on. You know what I'm saying? The truck ain't running. I said, well, what we gonna do now? Well, I don't know. I think it's this or I think it's that. I said, okay, well, you gonna check it out, or what we gonna do about it? The man, you know what I'm saying, said, well, I need my money for coming out here. I need my money for putting the part on. I need my money for this. And I'm like, okay. And like, I'm not gonna argue with you, but like, that's not a good business person, because I do construction and contracting. If I come out to your house and give you a price and tell you the materials I need to get your situation right, if I go in there and I do what I need to do and your situation is not right, I can't charge you for that. I can't. Exactly. That's just me personally. My business morals and my business standards won't let me charge you for something that I didn't complete. If I tell you I'm going to fix a problem, I can't charge you until that problem is fixed. And that's just business ethics. You know what I'm saying? That's just basic business ethics. And some people don't have those. But those can be gained. All of that can be gained. And just like I said, it comes with education. It comes with education. Like, I try to work with people with businesses and help them, fine tune their business, get their business plan together. Like that's all a part of it. But like you said, we have to create ethical businesses because the ethical business are going to help the community. Those that aren't going to help the community, they serve no purpose in the community.
Exactly. And so I think this would be good to when maybe we start doing workshops to get Black people educated in business, because it's more to owning a business than just owning a business.
Everything. Just like I said, we need to be educated on everything. Like, I don't know if they teaching, basic, what I'm saying, job interview skills. I don't know, what I'm saying, where that's going, or helping people, fine tune their resume. I know young people that don't know nothing about a resume. I took my nephew, he was talking about looking for a job. He didn't even know what a resume was. You know what I'm saying? And he's an adult, but I had to tell him and show him what a resume is. So I help people with resumes. Like, you have to want to do better though. Like, if I'm offering you the help, why not reach out? Why not reach out? You know what I'm saying? Like, everything I'm talking here, like, I work toward these goals on a daily basis. I'm working toward. So if somebody comes and say, hey man, I heard you trying to do this, I need some help in this. That helps me to put on to let people know, hey, I'm out here doing something. It's people out here that needs this. And just like I said, on a simple note of taking the program, getting somewhere to set up shop and to let people come in, offer classes. Because I know for a fact, if I offer a class on job readiness skills, fine tuning your resume, if I offer a class on that and people come to that class, I can get them to sign a sign-in sheet showing how many people actually taking part in this stuff and actually need it. That will help me show other people, hey, I have the people, I just need the funding to be able to give them what they need.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
And just like I said, educating. We have to educate. But like we went back to square one, we have to want it. Because can't nobody give us the education. We have to get it.
That's it.
Nobody can, make us want to be better people. And, most of us are comfortable. I'm like I am. You just got to deal with it. If you can't deal with it, then no, you not right. Like, you not right. You negative. So if you don't want to be right, then we're not looking for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you one of the followers. Keep on following. Once we get everything together, we'll call the bandwagon riders later to join in. But we need the people who not scared to be trendsetters.
That's it.
I'm not scared for people to talk about me. I'm not scared for people to say, oh, he full of shit. I'm not, because I know me. I'm confident in me. And just like I say, my actions going to tell it. I don't care what a person say. My actions are going to tell it.
And another thing, even when some Blacks open up a store, we can go wrong because presentation is everything. I mean, it's everything. But I hate to see these old bullshit buildings they throw up with that loud color paint and spray paint the name of the business on there. We need some professionalism skills, because the way you put up a building and how it looks on the outside will determine whether or not certain people come on the inside.
It affects property value.
Come on.
All of that. Just like I said, that's why I said it has to be the right business people, because the wrong business people could come in and fuck everything up. You could come in with a bullshit business, destroy property value, misserve the community and all of that. So just like I said, we got to the point now where we just let anybody come into the community and open a business, and we accept that shit. We can't accept that shit no more. It's as simple as that. We can't accept it no more. But just like I said, everybody is not trained and everybody is not skilled, but the skills and the training are available. And we are going to get the right people together to try to pool the resources so we can get y'all the information.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you something. Black people, started saying something a long time ago, and I'm explaining. When black people start saying the game is to be sold and not to be told, that was pimp shit. That was pimp game. A pimp tell a whore that I'm going to sell you the game. I'm not going to tell you the game. We got to get out of this shit. I don't see any of my peers as whores. So I wouldn't tell my peers, the game to be sold, not told. Man, if you want it and you were trying to get it hard enough, I will give it to you. I will give it to you. But I'm not gonna give it to nobody unless I'm sure you're gonna take it and do the right thing with it. Because you're not gonna use it to hurt us.
That's that's another powerful point there. And you keep saying we have to want it, and
We
that's
have to
it.
want it.
We have to want
Because right now, look at us. Right now, we sit around and complain. Our complain game is strong. But then what are you going to do to change it? If you just gonna talk about it, you a part of you just like you spread the negativity. You a part of the problem. If you, oh man, them youngsters ain't gonna do nothing, this and that there, man, you can't tell them youngsters. How do you know? Have you tried to talk to every youngster and he turn you down? No. So until I talk to every youngster or I try to talk to every I'm not gonna say what them young do or what them youngsters ain't listening to. That's a cop out, man. Do the work. It's gonna take work. If you're not willing to do the work, sit your ass on the sideline. We'll come back and get you once we get the band wagon up and running and you can jump on.
That's it.
I'm saying, because I know y'all coming. When we show y'all how successful Black Shreveport is supposed to do it, y'all coming. I know y'all coming because y'all can't be left out, and that's cool. But right now, I'm focused on the trendsetters. We need to bring the trendsetters together because we need to sit down and map out the trend. Like I got the framework, but we need to map out the new trend. Oh, this is what successful Black Shreveport is going to look like. This is how we're going to act. This is how we're going to carry ourselves. These are the places that we're going to shop and we're going to support. These are the big, and like it start with this media right here because we're going to get it together and we're going to put it out there to y'all.
Exactly. And
all y'all have to do is share it.
That's it.
Share it with anybody that you think need it. Share it with anybody you think don't need it because you never know.
And throughout time, we hear that our people need jobs. Okay, I totally agree with that. But here's what I think you're saying, and I'm in agreement with you. It's not enough for them to just get a job. You want them to get to a state of mind to where they own their own shit.
If you go get a job right now, you can work in that motherfucker till they get tired of you. You can't leave that to your kids though. Can you leave that job to your kid? Can you say, hey, I'm 65 now. I want my son to take my place. You can't do that. You can't do that. Just like we talked about before, slaves and whores. You could be a slave, and just like I said, there's nothing wrong. Understand this: in order to be a good leader, you have to be a follower. So it's nothing wrong with going to work. It's nothing wrong with doing what you got to do. But if you're not striving for higher, something wrong.
Come on,
something wrong. Keep it real. I'm talking about even if you were going to McDonald's, if you just comfortable working on the fry line, something wrong. If I go in McDonald's, like I wanna run it. My goal is to run it because if I'm here to get bread. I can get only so much on the fry line. I'm trying to get management positions so I can get more funds, so I can try to do something with it. Everything is, trying to move up. If you are comfortable in your current position, something is wrong. Because Jay-Z is a billionaire. He ain't comfortable. And I know we ain't got shit. So if we comfortable with what we doomed. And our kids are doomed. And our grandkids are doomed. Because if you teaching your kids how to go to work and work for somebody until they old enough to retire, your kids are going to teach your grandkids that. Your grandkids are going to teach your and your family is going to be slaves and working for somebody forever. That shouldn't be the goal. As of right now, me personally, I'm in the zone where I could work for somebody right now because I'm trying to establish something that I might not even see, but my kids will carry on, hopefully, for generations to come. So I will work for that. I will work for somebody for that, but that's a goal in mind. Exactly. That's not just working just like we normally do, just to buy shit, buy irrelevant shit. That's all we work for. We go complain and put in them hard ass 8 hours to give our money away for bullshit. After the rent, the bills, buying food, all of that with them. We go to them first. We go to them first. You know what I'm saying? We have to go buy food. We have to go pay them rent. We have to pay utilities. We have to do all of that. And then after that, what we do? BMF. We blowing money fast on bullshit.
That's it. So the money we made, we turn right back around and really give it to the one that gave it to us.
Exactly. The oppressors. The same one who gave it to us. They run the system, Unc. They control the system. Like we work for them and we turn around and we go to their grocery stores, we go to their clothing stores. Yeah, like that's how the money leaves. That's how the money leaves. And just like I said, we know how they do it. If they pay you $15 an hour, they got to be making 25 or 30. That's the only way they can do business. So they making it. Why you can't figure out a way to put yourself in a position to hire somebody else?
That's it.
Like everybody else doing it. I know they teaching us to work for somebody, but like why we can't start teaching our kids to create their own business and help them create their own business? Why? They do it.
So in many ways, we're keeping ourselves down.
Yes. Why you think we see white people out there with lemonade, them little kids out there with lemonade stands? Do you not realize that's their first job? That's the first turn on to the hustle. The lemonade stand is the first time. Hey, you can make some lemonade, you can sell cut, and you can make money. That's what get them to drive. We don't even do lemonade stands in the hood. Like the Cool Cup lady. Like you could teach a kid right now to sell Cool Cups and they can make a killing selling Cool. Teach them something. Teach them something. Teach them. That's a Cool Cup is a simple way to create a product and make money. If you teach them that, like that could open their mind up to where I can make my own money. I don't have to go begging this guy to give me a job so I can make some money.
Because you're teaching them not to lay up and do something close to nothing and keep waiting on people to come and do things for you.
And keep complaining.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. Oh, I got to work. They got me working and they doing this and they doing. No, they don't. That bullshit you buying got you working. Because if you stop buying a lot of that bullshit and start saving your money, you wouldn't have to work as hard. Yeah, that bullshit you buying, to make everybody think you or to look like you $1 million. That's what's, what I'm saying, hurting your pockets.
That's it. That's it. Nephew, I think you preached tonight.
I hope so. I hope somebody heard me.
I know they did. And so all of you who are on the live feed, share this video. I need you to share it because we need to start waking people up.
And hey, if you on Facebook, follow me at Mr. O'Neal 214 on Facebook, at MRONEAL 214 on Facebook. Follow me because we're doing a lot of stuff. I'm doing giving a lot of info through my page, and you can contact me there directly. I haven't got my Injustice Investigations account set up, but as soon as I get it up, I'm putting that information out there because we need y'all to contact us. If you want to be a part of what's going on, contact us. If you know somebody that would be interested in being a part of it, if you know somebody who has input that may be able to give us more input on what we're trying to do, contact, because we need information. That's going to be the key. We have to accumulate the information. We have to get it packaged up, and we have to get it to you guys, and that's what we're trying to do.
Exactly. King says, live off your own land. We have to get to a point to where we live before we die. We have to get there. We have to get to a point that we live before we die, because some people think they're living and they're not. They're just surviving. And the information is out there for you. The information was told here tonight with my nephew. But you got to want it. You got to want better for yourself. You got to look at where you want to see you and your family 10 years from now. You graduated from Southern. You graduated from Grambling, but you still working for a company. And as Toby just said, you'll never make as much money as the individuals that run it and own it.
We barely get out of debt in college. We go into college, we barely get out of debt. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to pay you. The system not designed for us to, get a degree and go get a job. Like we in the hole. So just like I said, like we're not promoting trade schools. I see Shreveport. Think about this. Shreveport, as ragged as it is, you know why? the black community is so raggedy? Because it's a shortage of residential service providers. It's a shortage. Because think about it. At one point, they stopped pushing people to go to plumbing school, to take a trade, to go to electrical school, to take electrical trade. Or, they stopped it. They stopped pushing that because you know why? That was self-sufficiency. If you taught me how to plumb a house, I didn't have to go beg for no job. I could go knock on somebody's door and go directly to the money. Yeah, that's why they say, oh, well, we'll let you be a helper. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because you don't want me to learn. Then you're going to make me, you know what I'm saying, stay under you for umpteen years and make you rich, before you even give me the skills I need to go out and do my own thing. Like, that's how it's designed. But we hold the tools.
Exactly.
I hold the tools to train somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's just about finding the people that want to learn. I know people who are mechanics that know the trade that want to train somebody. We just have to find the people who want to be trained. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's here.
Yeah, before we get out, Miss Renfrey says, and she's talking to you, Toby, great show. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And my voice is going out again.
Thank you. Thank everybody for who took the time to listen. Because, like, I need help. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do it on my own. I know I can't. But the more people I tell, the more people, the more times I say it. Just like I said, every time I say it, I know I'm speaking it into existence. So I'm going to say it every chance I get. Like, and I'm going to put the work behind it. It's constantly work behind it. My uncle is constantly working. Everything, we are constantly working because this is our city.
That's it.
And I'm not going nowhere. I came back. I went to Dallas. I lived in Dallas my whole life. I came back. I want to retire here. I want my family here. You know what I'm saying? And I want to make this a better place for when I'm gone.
Exactly. Okay. My voice is going out. As always, I'm not always right. You're not always wrong. So we'll be back tomorrow night. And Toby, I can't say another doggone word.
All right. Well, I thank you all for joining us tonight. And I thank you for letting me talk your ear off. And next time I get next time if I get a chance to host, I'm gonna come with something else. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight with Injustice Investigation News.
Yeah, he's gonna get that opportunity again tomorrow night.
All right, y'all take care. Thank you for joining us.
I love you big time.
Love you too, Unc.
Y'all have a good night.
Good night. Good night.